all this and all since we're back again. So I'm gonna be pissed now and stuff that I have to drink some water as well. And we are going to be back here now, and we are going to continue on here, of course. So we're gonna have to go and defeat Darkwing Bat, and I think that we're actually gonna go this way after that and stuff that yeah. So Bastard Sword is still worse than technically than using the thing, than using Lucky Will Knuckle, but we're actually gonna be using this sword here. Yeah. We can use that stock here, I think, yeah. I'm pretty certain we can get away with using that. And this is of course guaranteed to gain us at least. It's probably going to gain us to 23 at least because we're so close to our level here. Oops. You stand there. Oh wow, you can really What are you doing? Oh, I thought he would do that attack there. I thought he was showing up a certain. Yeah, it's actually way harder to fight him with with the S-stock because of the fact of how the hitbox on the S-stock works. So yeah, we got 23, kind of like I calculated. So now, at that level, this has 35. Bastard Sword is now 45. Claymore is 38. Broadsword is 37. Yeah, so that is 37. You will like is 46. You will like is still stronger by 1. Than that, we have 2 library cards now as well. And that's gonna be the first lad. Oh, Ring of the Dead. The ring is the intelligence, yeah. Which is weird. You know that my ring makes me smart, you know. But it was interesting, of course, that they made certain relics get replaced by other things, you know, and stuff that's right, that they have their whole, you know, in that whole thing, in the tournament that Dragon Blitz is doing, you know, and stuff that, you know. It is going to be where the thing is, right? Yeah, let's actually grab this now, because this is a decent weapon, you know, the moon rod. Damage-wise, it's weaker than the Bastard Sword, however, that's of course the break tiles. It's actually a pretty good thing, you know, not gonna lie, you know, it's a pretty decent. And this music is used in so many parts of the whole second castle, which I do find a little bit boring. Now it is a bit crazy, of course, that doing that thing with the whole getting gold and silver ring very quickly and stuff that yes, you skip out on like fucking Grand Falloon and stuff like that, you know. I actually want to go here because it's actually still going to be a Cloak Knight here. Still like in the first castle. But we can get the life max up here and art max up. So it's exactly the same loot as in the first castle. Yeah. I would have made that a boss arena though, so somehow in the second castle and stuff like that, but yeah. But supposedly there were plans, if I remember correctly, for like a third castle or whatever, which kind of makes sense, right? Because I do think that they were meant, or you were meant to quote-unquote be able to reach level 99 in the game through like normal means. I mean, technically, yes, you could use, you know, like there are ways to, like in the mobile version, for example, you can use grind to 99 fairly easily and stuff that, like, well, theoretically, the thing is that you level up for example, like the sword. You level up the sword to to 99 basically, and stuff. That is what you do. Yeah, we can get this here. Smart Potion, Luminous, Instinct Potion. Sword forged by elves. This is worse for some reason than the... It does not have a special attack though. But I feel like it's pretty quick, right? And Bastard Sword is also very quick. This is where like Luminous is off the Bastard Sword and it's just like... And it's just like, okay, like so why is Luminous so bad? We do of course want to go down here. So we can grab a dragon helm. But it was always such a weird looking thing, right? And you know, like what's the lore? Like how do Alucard have the dragon helm? Because I forgot, like, it's a dragon helm from something else. Like it's not from like a Castlevania item. At first it was something else, I think. It's interesting, of course, when you're going the reverse way here, because now the radiants aren't quote-unquote breakable, of course, obviously. There are actually some stuff to pick up here. Like, a lot of people never go for this stuff, you know, because it's not, you know... I mean, you can get the karma coins, so if you want to, you know, do the gamble, you know, you can. But here is, of course, an actual hole and stuff that actually leads down and stuff that, you know... So, yeah, so it's interesting, you know. Because, yeah, you can see that this usually is down to where the horses are. The Valhalla Riders. So, level 23. If we compare to what was we... Was it level 36 or 37 we were at the very end? Because, you know, like, that's not, like, very, very low at all, you know, stuff there, but yeah. Main problem, though, is that a lot of bosses give you a lot of, like, experience stuff that, you know. But yeah, usually, though, there is a way to, like, for example, like, if you really want to optimize things, you want to try and figure out, okay, like, what is the boss that gives you the most XP? Because if you're very, very far away from the boss's level, then the boss's XP is actually going to be higher, because the way the scaling works in this, for example, means that if you fight Galamot too late, if you're too high level when you fight Galamot, then you don't get several levels from Galamot, because Galamot is not level 99. Galamot is only like level 50, I think. So if you, for example, if you fight Galamot at level 50, then I don't think you even get a single level from Galamot, or maybe you get one level or whatever, right? But for example, like the earlier you fight Galamot, like the more levels you get from him, of course, obviously, so you know. And I always thought that they were gonna be like a way to kill the skull enemies, by the way, so yeah, you know, that is nice. So of course we want to get this here. You want to get the teleporter there, because that's a quick way to get to Medusa. Stuff that, you know, so, you know. Because I feel like what we want to do, right? I feel like we just want to avoid doing the... and there is no access to the reverse elevator, though. Stuff there, because, yeah. Yeah, there's the reverse library, by the way. So actually, it has some really, really sweet stuff in it, you know, I'm not gonna lie, you know. Okay. Potion. More like. Goodbye, potion. Right, actually, we can go and grab that first. Because I think that weapon is actually pretty decent here. We need to be a bit careful here, because, you know, lol, enemy. And we cannot ride the elevator here, I don't think. Yeah, the elevator doesn't work in the reverse castle, I don't think. I think we tried to do that before and I forgot if we succeeded or not, but yeah. But then, of course, in Portrait of Room, by the way, yeah, we get a shuttle here. And the shuttle, interesting enough, is actually 49, so it's better than the Moon Rod. It's worse than the Luminous. It is the same as the Basso, but see there, now the Luminous is stronger than the Basso Sword once you reach a certain level. So that is because we are at 29 strength, I think is the reason. It might also have to do with the no, but technically right. Dragon Hand do give you a few strengths, so let's check here. So yeah, Luminous is at 45 at that point. 45 is the same thing with the Basso Sword, and Luminous is at 38. So one of those points of strength there is the thing that brings it up high enough where the Luminous gives us more. So that also means that now all of a sudden Sword of Dawn is good and gives you 56, because if you see here before, 39. So once you reach a certain critical amount of strength, all of a sudden it becomes stronger. Same thing with Claymore. Now Claymore all of a sudden is 55 in damage, and their stock will be lower, I think. Yeah, their stock is only 53 now, so now Claymore is stronger than their stock. So, the actual strength value matters a lot, your actual strength value, and how good certain things are. It changes. So now all of a sudden Luminous is really good. But yeah. Shotgun of course has the boomerang effect, yeah, we can do that. We can abuse the fact that they aren't the smartest guys. Because generally speaking, the way the Nova Skeletons work is they specifically guard often a specific area. It's kind of what they do. Actually, let's use Luminous instead. Actually, let's be a bit of a cheeky bugger here. We could actually grind this now, right, for the Vada. Technically right, because now they don't hardly give any XP, right? I'm testing something here with this. Because here's the thing, right? The Sword of Dawn is interesting. I know a lot of people who the Sword of Dawn is so bad. Stuff that, and that is true. And stuff that, because the stuff that they summon mostly from the Sword of Dawn is not very good. But the thing is, it is fairly quick when you swing it. If you can see there, for example, like if we try to do the same there with the Claymore, for example. Yeah, so it swings pretty quickly. But there is the thing, right? The old red thing that you might think is used for show, it actually is a way bigger hitbox, if I remember correctly. It's not, very, very super low. Okay. Yeah, I don't care if I take damage here, really. And I do care a little bit. Well, that guy's pretty rare to get. Yeah, it would be nice to actually know how much damage some of the healing here. We do have a high potion though. But what I think, right, is the damage from them, right, is from The main problem is that the person that fires the meteor projectile never gets a chance really to do it if a boss is too quick, basically. But I feel like these are actually affected by intelligence, if I remember correctly. Okay, that's the best kind of scenario there. It almost got its projectile off. Because the question is like how comparable is its damage to actual Hellfire? Is the question, you know. But wouldn't it have been cool if for example, if they actually had a level up thing to the whole characters that you summoned? So like the more kills you got with them or something like that, you know, the more... Because yeah, we could have killed him several times over at this point with other things. Yeah, we've never gotten that off even once there. We can't be doing 0 damage, right, with these. Actually, we need to mana prism at this point. Actually, let's sling potion, let's mod potion. And then watch him die in the next hit or whatever. Where is it? Oh no, where is it? Oh no, where is it? Oh no, where is it? Sword of Dawn. Well, it goes over his head anyway, so it doesn't matter. I didn't want to hit him with a regular spell there. We used so long, yeah we do. I know that we're getting hit by a lot because I want to see actually how long does this actually take. Because it's ridiculous that this is taking so long. Like maybe we were dealing like just 1 damage and stuff that, right? And like that's the main problem, like why couldn't they just have a thing, right, you know? I do think that something that should have been a thing should have been that in the room where you get the royal cloak, they should spawn a bunch of actual, you know, like a bunch of what they call them, a bunch of the whole what do you call them, relics, if you miss them in the first castle. For example, like Fairy Scroll should spawn there again, right? Maybe in the Fairy Scroll location and in those locations where they are originally and stuff that, right? They could instead spawn like a health max up if you skip to getting it in the first castle or whatever, right? Challenge complete. Truth of Land. Yeah, so we're still affected by the potion there, but yeah. So that was something interesting. Luminous is... So Luminous is like 66 with that. Luminous is 66 with that. Claymore is also 66 at that point. This is interesting. Falcon is 50. 61 from that. Sword of Dawn is 67. Turfing is now 10. 79 now from S-Stock. So S-Stock fucking starts getting pretty decent at that point. So yeah, there is a bunch of different like strength values like that you reach that all of a sudden just make certain things like really good. That is 60 now in the total. So yeah, so that's Suit of Rad. Is that the strength? Yes, strength plus 10. From the Tooth of Lad. I forgot what is on this side, right? I think this is luck, right? Is this luck? Oh, shield. Basic potion. That's insane how long that took if you comparison to when you were at. But I mean, you have to, yeah, because we did not defeat Darkwing Bat before we came back from the recording. Because it's weird, like if you see the time it took to save Rick the Belmont there, and then, oh, why did it take so long to defeat Darkwing Bat? Because yeah, we took that break, and stuff like that. And it's a bit annoying when you do that input that it's very, very easy to just do that thing by mistake, do the other input by mistake. And what? So we went from 23 to what, 24? Where is it? Did we go to 24? Not 26 even. So we got 3 levels of that. That's pretty insane. So that is plus what? 5 strength from Moonstone? Yeah, 5 strength from Moonstone. And of course we have the extra strength from the Dragon Helm. So if we remove that and the Moonstone, then it's only 11 plus. And Ring of Pills is 1 strength, so now we only are affected by the thing. So Luminous has. And this is only with the whole thing. But yeah, but now, for example, Claymore is 56. And then, for example, the stock is weaker and stuff like that. So it definitely does affect quite a lot, with depending on what your strength level is at. Like it does affect a lot of the different weapons, how good they can be. 2,750, right? Yeah, 2,749, 2,748, 2,747. I don't want to see the Ring of Water here. I just want the gauntlets here because the gauntlets are expensive to get normally and stuff that. But since they actually give you only 1 XP here in the second castle because of the levels you are at here, 2,743, 2,742, yeah. You can swing pretty fast with this, but yeah. And of course, Ring of Water is meant to be a reference to the whole, oh, there's 1 gauntlet, cool, nice. So that is going to be 1 less. Okay, so that's, this strength-wise is actually not better than the Moonstone. It's not better than the Moonstone and stuff like that. But once the Moonstone stops working, of course, if you haven't found the Sunstone at that point, it's like, because it's like what, it's attack plus 5. It's not even increasing your strength, which is a bit weird in my opinion. Like they should have had it so that it also gave strength. That would have made the gauntlet a lot better. Just for fun, we just kill him as well there, but yeah. But yeah, it's way better than using Ring of Pills, even though the Ring of Pills gives you a bunch of strength there, and stuff that it's just, and at that it's 70 from that, 71 from that, 83 from their stock. And Moonrod is 61, and Shuttle is 64. So, that is something. We're still using Luminous, yes, good. Yeah, we got the gauntlet pretty quickly there, and that of course has to do with the kind of luck we have. Because it's not super high or anything, but it's not the lowest either. Actually. No. I mean, we could. No, let's not do that. We did already get this, right? So we have got an ammo rings, otherwise. We do have 2 garnets, we can sell them to circles though. Yeah, like I thought about like going to and like you fighting death now, but I feel like that is a bad idea. Stuff that because we know, of course, we need to go and fight. We need to go and fight Medusa, and then after we fight Medusa, yeah, fine. That's okay. 16 damage is not bad. I took so much damage in the fight, but I didn't try to be careful, of course, with the whole using the sword down there, right? And that was not a good example to show you, like, oh, look at how good sword down is. I'm really curious though that because we did hit him with the swing, I think we hit him with the sword swing. I think we did twice. I know we hit him with hellfire like twice or thrice or something like that. So not everything was the damage from the Dawsons. The main problem is also that the one that casts Hellfire, that one is like, yeah, it's just, Slow combat creature. And now we can go over here, of course. Now the main problem is that we cannot go through them because we don't have the thing to use go straight through them. Actually, if you get, by the way, what do you call it? It's when you defeat Medusa, you can use go through this because Tombstone, yes, they cause damage, but the damage type that they do is stone, if I remember correctly. Or not stone, but it's curse damage, right? I think it is because once you have the thing that blocks curse, you can just avoid it. I get magic missile. Baka knife. This is good when you want to make baka soup. I don't think that that's a reference from there. He has said what the reference is from, actually. Dun, 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 dun. And it's so bad, right? Because if you think about it, if you go the left path also, you get that really, really horrible music. I mean, it's not like it's usually burnt, and stuff that. And then you get this very nice music if you go this way, and stuff that, because Medusa was like, I want to listen to good music, I think we can actually, yeah, we can just do that. Yeah. And I believe that she almost has the same amount. Oh, that was crazy. So that's 26, 27, 28, so that's 2 more levels from having that. And you get the Heart of Levlad. And with the Heart of Levlad, that's avoid curse, yes. I mean, I would love to get the Massamune here and stuff that, Like, lol, you just get lucky and you just get lol Massamune and stuff that, I'll get the Talbot curved Indian sword. It's 67 at this point, so yeah, not super great or anything, but yeah, Why is it called Luminous? Because Luminous isn't that what that game is called? Spaghetti. And here we get health max up, or life max up rather. Smart potion. I am so smart. Okay. Why did you? I'm just gonna take to be used completely safe here. You know, yeah, we could use go to it in bat because that actually consumes MP less fast. And then we get the ultimate cloak, Black Cape for Vampires. Which was just so fucking swag, man, and stuff that, you know. And you know what would have been really, really cool, actually? Because that's something really that could have made sense, right? That, yes, oh, Maria, take Richter and leave her and blah, 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 and everything, you know. And so that is nice. But imagine, right, if they actually followed you into the second castle or something, you know? Yeah. Okay. And we're at Act 1 and 2 quarters. Right, and it's out of 5 Valve relics now, and only 2 left. And then we get a 60 heart refresh. You know. Is it gonna do the super attack? No. You can get hit off skin by it because I think it has infinite range, if I remember correctly, that special attack that they can do. But it's very rare that it does it. Yeah, there it goes. It slices with its claws and it fucking does like the Renpukan. It fucking is fucking Renpukans, you do shit. And by the way, I never managed to get that drop back in the day on my main file that I had like 99 plus hours on. Stuff that back in the day. My first save file basically and stuff that, you know. This is quite crazy, right? And that was of course all because of just trying to ground like every enemy like a shit ton, you know, to see what drops they had, you know, and stuff that, and just, you know. And also that was before I knew like really how to quickly level up the, you know, level up the, you know, the, what do you call it, the familiars. Right, so of course if you had the firebrand here, it's very, very good to use. Right, we don't have any enemies that does not do fire damage. No, I mean TNT does technically do fire damage. Yeah, it does fire damage. We could also use, you know, we could just build a little bit of smartness in mine. Right, because we could use holy glasses, we could yeah, holy glasses, we could moonstone, we could ring of pails here. We could yeah, I don't think there's a weapon that give us intellect, at least we don't have it, you know. But yeah, so that's at least something, you know. Hellfire. Right, I might have been out of MP there at that point, maybe. Okay, now we use defeat it normally because now we're getting out of MP because I don't want to waste my single because we only have one person left, so we don't want to waste that. So back to Dragon Helm, Twilight Cloak, and Moonstone. But we switch to the Gauntlet here. I used the body grab. We used to be like more serious. And we got the dog bone. Constitution. We got his rib. Oh look, here comes the McRib. Lolololol. Right, and now we only need the death. And now we only need to fight death. Bork, bork. Bork. Okay, we're level 30, okay. And it's just because you have to basically be, you have to, you know, now of course if we would have been able to Richter skip, for example, then after we had gotten back, oh, we could have like, we wouldn't have to go and get silver ring, meaning we wouldn't have to go past those enemies. And we didn't even need to, well, technically once we got back, we should have actually gone back to Castle Keep and just immediately gotten Power Mist. Because that would mean that we could have avoided killing less enemies. Stuff that. Right, once we got the, you know, the thing. Now we can of course use Bat here. You could actually fly through here with Bat. There is a way to avoid killing these. Stuff that, but that might be a bit risky. Looks like there's a crack on the floor there. That is actually always very weird. Like, why does that look like there's a crack there? And it's the only spot in this room that has that, you know. I don't know, I would just switch it to the other form there, but yeah, so let's mana prism good. Luck potion. And shield potion. No, I don't wanna. Damn, this might be. Do we even get through this room with this amount of MP? I think we do. I mean, I hope we do. Yeah, we're gonna have to use up the mana prism here. I thought about teleporting back there and actually refilling the MP. Yeah, don't bother Assagal because he does a lot of damage. Because he's actually considered to be high level. No. Right, and we don't need to get the thing there. I forgot what way is quickest, right? Because you need to go to the left from here, right? Because the other like the way to death. Right, both of like the way is always to the left of the clock room. Stuff that. And there's nothing here, of course, which is a bit weird, you know. Because I feel like it would make you think that, oh, they could put, you know, in the other place. And then you get the resistances here. And here's where again there's nothing here and stuff that, right? And why you just have resistances here? You could have had a different like set of items here and stuff that, you know. Alright, we need to go to the left here. And Guardians is the enemies that actually give you more than 1 XP for the longest in the game, basically, and stuff like that. So yeah, you know there. Skeleton number 1, yeah, and yeah, this is the place where you normally go upwards and stuff like that, right? So then we are very close now to the place where we get the bottom is right here because that's where the Bible normally is. And this is the path. This is the path to the final boss that we need to actually technically beat before we fight Shafton Le Dracula. There are of course some nice things we can do here if we really want as well. Some nice things we can go and do. Oh wow, 48 minutes already. No, 41. 48. 41. Yeah, because we just decided to be dumb with whole fight against, you know, like... Right, because the only thing that's here in this castle, for example, you get the, you know, the thing. I don't know what skeleton, by the way, can drop the terminus east. This is interesting always. There's a heart max up here, which is nice. I feel like a lot of like second castle is just like fucking just putting enemies everywhere. Like, okay, like how can we make this place that wasn't annoying before? How can we make it more annoying? Like, I don't know, just put a bunch of well, we can. That I think you can get past there actually if you do not use bat, because the bat is thick. But that is the same, right? Except it's not moonstone, of course. I'm pretty certain this is not what a moonstone is. Like, I always thought that the moonstone should have been in the second castle again, because that would have been a nice, or not moonstone now, right? But the sunstone would have been here instead, right? Because that, in my opinion, would have made much more sense, right? That, oh, if the moonstone is there in the first castle, then the sunstone, which is the opposite, is in the, you know, in the second castle, right? But imagine if there would have been gear pieces that would have had like +1 version of them, or something like that, you know, in the second castle, right? That oh, like, oh, this is this item, but now with a +1. Because, you know, in D&D you have all oh, this is +1 and stuff that, and then it's a stronger version of something, you know, and stuff that, you know. And it's often like way more than used. Like, you might think that, oh, a +1 is not that big of a deal, but it generally is. And then I believe, generally speaking, right, or before, at least in the earlier version of D&D, wasn't 9+ always the maximum? I think 9+ was always the maximum before, but then at some point they went over 9. I think it is, you know, I don't know technically if there is a maximum and stuff that, you know. But it need to feel like special because, you know, like, because when you play, for example, Neverwinter Nights, for example, like, if you find like a certain plus version, especially, or if you found a magical version or weapon you already have, for example, if you find like a magical version of, if you're using like a great sword or something like that, you know, like a render sword or whatever, right, and you find like a 1+ version of that, like, it needs to feel like a big deal, but then it's plus, it needs to feel like a big deal. We're actually gonna go here because we can go and get the diamond over here. I believe it is. Is this the one that has a single? Yeah, this is the one with the single guy. This has the opal. Yeah. Which is the second most worth and stuff that, so I don't know why. But it is understandable why the garnet is the big thing, because the garnet is what needs to be used to get the, you know, to get the duplicator and stuff that, you know, if you do the glitch. You could actually still do the glyphs on the PSP version and stuff that which was interesting and stuff that because the PSP version is of course what the Requiem was based on, but there was certain things that you could do in the PSP version that you didn't end up being able to do in this version. But I believe they later on patched the PSP version, although quote unquote you don't need to download that patch of course. Yeah. So health max up. And I got a ring in the last night. Highly valuable ring. And then of course you have valuable ring and valuable ring. So these are both valuables, but these are highly valuable and stuff like that. And it's the only highly valuable ring in the game and stuff like that. But yeah. And you can technically get more damage in the game, but you need to use the dual sword, stuff like that. And then there are certain tiers of enemies, but the good thing, of course, is that the Yorick in the second castle is the highest tier of enemy, and you can one-shot it with the dual sword. And then basically that's the guy that you grind, because when you grind that type of enemy, yes, you're going to get a lot of garnets and a lot of Aqua Marines, but then the dual sword is definitely dependent on luck. And not as much the Ring of Arcana, I feel like, and stuff that, but it also has to do with the amount of luck you have. So it's way easier to do with, oops. Yeah, let's just do that instead. And then just go down there. We just need to go and defeat that. I know I said that we were going to do it in this, We're going to fight the death the way that they... Not because we don't have no holy weapon and stuff that, so... We have no... We did use up the Saint Potion. We have no attack potion. Nope. We do not. Wow, Claymore is exactly the same strength as Luminous is. That's a bit silly though. Yeah, Gobbles. Oops. Now why is you not working? Why is you not working? I didn't do the both inputs there and stuff that I managed to just press one of the buttons there when I meant to press both. Yeah, because you can try and save MP there, and this is just, yeah, immediately this. Yeah, I think they're gonna just give 1 XP because they're low level. So I can grab one here. Yeah, the funny thing is, of course, 1780. Yeah. Maybe. I'm trying to think here. You know what? Fine, I think that's actually going to be useful. Okay, final save technically, or almost final save. And we... Okay, I missed the second one, that's bad. Anything else? Can use we do can't I kick it through the iron ball. Go magic missile. Go magic missile. Okay, good. You hardly get to see that attack. Actually, let's go with Luminous because, yeah. Because you used to, it's really, this is what he does most of the time. Used, and you can use, you know. He also has like a double thing that he goes down with. So it gave you level twice there, so we'll end up at level 33 instead. Yeah, we didn't end up with any of the devil cards though, which is a bit sad. We get the last blood, which is the eye, which gives you the luck, right? Eye is the luck, yeah. It's the luck. You know, staying from the tooth makes sense, right? Because you're biting, you know, but yeah, the eye giving luck seems like really weird. You know, like I feel like the eye should have been intelligence actually, and you know, maybe the ring should have been luck, you know, stuff like that. But yeah. But yeah, and then it's better used to continue on here rather than trying to go back the regular way and stuff that, you know, because, you know. Because we need to do this, of course, to get to the Alucard sword. And technically, we could have also picked up the Alucard, like the armor and stuff that we could have picked up that in a certain specific spot as well. Oh, do we have... Yeah, we might have enough time to get this actually here. Because I think this might matter here for DPS. Oops. And today, by the way, I'm eating some tuna today. I usually marinate it and stuff like that, you know, and sometimes, you know, like if it's about to go bad though, if you, for example, eating it on its very last date that it's like time stamped, actually, isn't there a thing here that you can get very early on? I mean, I will just make one more recording, but basically after this, we can just avoid killing stuff here and actually getting some good loot here. You can actually get good loot here without having to kill anything basically and stuff that is entirely possible. So we can get a magic missile here again, we can get a buffalo star, which is nice. But also we did get, of course, the power of Sire. The power of Sire is just very, very good. Well, I know I said the last part was going to be the last part, but yeah. So I mean, we're not that many levels lower than what we were normally and stuff that, like level 33 instead, you know, so, you know. But I feel like, right, that the only thing probably we could have done different is getting, like, after getting Soul of Bat, we could have teleported back to the place. Yeah. But is that room dark? In the second castle, no, it's not dark, right? It's actually bright in the second castle, I think. Right, then a health max up. And a health max up. And that's still not enough to bring it over the thing. Right, and there's the thing here. The frozen half. There's the fact that it has a cross. Yeah, it is supposed to be a cross, right, I think. And it has like the whole ice trash attacks posted in stuff that, like, because it definitely is more similar to a Belmont like trash attack more than anything, but yeah. I think you need to go in here to get the Valakos last item here, so you get the necklace of Yay. Which is similar to how the Gauntlet is attack +5, necklace of Yay is defense +5. But I always thought that necklace of Yay was actually supposed to be necklace of Jesus or something like that, you know. Or maybe it's supposed to be Joseph and stuff like that, because it's like the Joseph cloak in this game, you know, and stuff like that, you know, so that could be a thing as well, you know. Yeah, we can use the word killing stuff here, of course, in game, just grabbing stuff. And that's just the one coin room. If you get one coin every time, that makes me wonder if they thought about adding those doors from, you know, from like, it was in Area of Sorrow already, right? Those coin doors. Yeah, this is where another diamond is. And right, there was there heart and life max up in here before the room before Belmont? No, was just hearts, yeah. Yes, we can grab another diamond here. Yeah, there's normally, of course, there is a lot of like, you know, there are like interesting things in the game, of course, that you can do. Once you get to a certain point. Because if you allow glitches, for example, and you can, I forgot if there were as many like out of bounds that you can do in Requiem and stuff like that, but yeah. But if you go out of bounds in certain places, there are some nice stuff that you can grab. I believe this skeleton thing is going to be crappy XP, yeah. It is weird, like wiser, you know, like, you know, that they hit hard. Yeah, that's the thing there. You cannot tell me that that is not like an item crash. Whatever. So maybe there's supposed to be like a dead Belmont or whatever, or not necessarily a Belmont, but you know the Sif and stuff that, you know, because she's part of that bloodline that becomes like the, you know, like the supporting bloodlines, because generally you have spellcasters that tend to, you know, support the Belmont. You know, you had Yoko in, you know, in like, technically she wasn't in until Dawn, so she wasn't in like Aria. Oh no, she was in Aria, of course. Oops. I thought I would be able to get through the room without. Yeah, it's just. So you can just go through this room with this whole with the bat here. You know, because it's just actually light in here. So you don't need a spike breaker. Yeah, it's not a cat. You know.